When people hear the words dark web, they imagine hackers, secrets, and crime. But the dark web is not a single place. It is part of a much larger structure, called the Internet. In this video, we are going to explain every layer of the web, what they are, how they differ, and why most of the Internet is completely invisible to normal users. By the end, you will understand the deep web, the dark web, and the myths surrounding them. Let's start with what you already know. The surface web. The surface web is the part of the Internet you use every day. Google search results, news websites, social media, online stores. If a page can be indexed by search engines, it belongs to the surface web. This layer is easy to access. Open a browser. Type a link. You are there. But here is something most people do not realize. The surface web is extremely small. It represents only a tiny fraction of all information on the Internet. Most of the web is hidden from search engines. This brings us to the next layer, the deep web. The deep web is not illegal. It is not dangerous. And it is not the dark web. The deep web simply means content that search engines cannot index. This includes email inboxes, online banking accounts, private company databases, cloud storage, academic journals. If a website requires a login, it is part of the deep web. Every time you check your email or log into a dashboard, you are using the deep web. The deep web exists for privacy and security. Without it, personal data would be public. The deep web is massive. It makes up the majority of the Internet, and most people use it every single day, without realizing it. Now we go deeper. Below the deep web is the dark web. The dark web is intentionally hidden. Its websites are not accessible through standard browsers. They are not indexed. They use special network protocols designed for anonymity. The most well-known dark web network is Tor. Tor routes traffic through multiple servers to hide user identity. This makes tracing activity extremely difficult. The dark web was not created for crime. It was designed to protect privacy. Journalists, whistleblowers, activists, in places with heavy censorship. The dark web allows free communication. But anonymity has a downside. It can also hide criminal activity. This is where most dark web myths come from. Now let's talk about dark web layers, as people commonly describe them. These layers are not official. They are a conceptual model, but they help explain how content becomes more hidden and more obscure. The first dark web layer contains relatively accessible anonymous sites. These include forums, privacy-focused blogs, anonymous communication platforms. Some are legal, some are controversial. They exist to avoid tracking, not necessarily to break laws. This layer is still structured. It has navigation, rules, communities. Many users never go beyond this level. The next layer is more restricted. Access is often controlled. Communities are invitation-based. Trust matters. This layer includes private forums, hidden marketplaces, encrypted communication hubs. Users rely heavily on reputation. Information is shared carefully. Scams are common. Anonymity increases. This is where illegal activity becomes more visible. But it is also where privacy-focused communities exist. Not everything here is criminal, but risk increases significantly. Now we reach deeper layers that are often exaggerated online. This is where myths explode. Stories talk about secret experiments, hitmen, Red rooms. In reality, most of these are fiction. There is no evidence that live-stream torture sites exist as described. Many of these stories are hoaxes, designed to scare or attract attention. However, there are areas where extremely disturbing content exists. These spaces are tightly controlled. Access requires trust, time, and connections. They are not something a random user can stumble into. This is not a different internet. It is still hosted on computers, just like the surface web. The difference is isolation. The deeper you go, the smaller the audience. Now let's talk about why dark web layers feel different. It is not about technology alone. It is about culture. Surface web culture is public. Likes, shares, identity. Dark web culture is private. No real names. No faces. No followers. Trust is built slowly. Information is traded cautiously. Reputation replaces identity. Now let's address the deepest myths. Some people talk about a final layer, called the Mariana Web. This is not real. It is a fictional concept. It describes an unreachable layer, controlled by artificial intelligence or government supercomputers. There is no evidence this layer exists. It is a modern internet legend. The real web does not have infinite layers. It has access control. The deeper something is hidden, the fewer people know about it. Not because it is magical, but because it is isolated. Now let's talk about legality. Accessing the deep web is legal. Accessing the dark web is legal in many countries. What matters is activity. Illegal actions are illegal, no matter where they happen. The dark web does not change the law. It only changes visibility. Now let's talk about why the dark web exists at all. Privacy is not a crime. Anonymity protects people from surveillance and persecution. In some countries, it saves lives. The same tools that protect freedom can also be abused. This is the core conflict of the dark web. Now let's talk about danger. The biggest danger of the dark web is not hackers. It is misinformation, scams, fraud, manipulation. Many sites exist only to deceive. Anonymity removes accountability. This makes trust difficult. Now let's talk about law enforcement. The dark web is not invisible. Agencies monitor it constantly. Mistakes expose identities. Operational errors matter. Anonymity is fragile. Many major dark web platforms have been shut down. This proves one thing. The dark web is not untouchable. It is simply harder to see. Now let's step back. The internet is not just what you see. It is layers of access. Public, private, hidden. The surface web is the smallest part. The deep web is the largest. The dark web is the most misunderstood. It is not pure evil. It is not pure freedom. It is a tool. Like all tools, its impact depends on how it is used. Understanding the dark web means understanding privacy, power, and information control. Once you understand the layers of the web, you stop fearing the unknown. You start seeing structure where others see chaos. And that knowledge is what separates myth from reality.